You guys argue all the time. That's why I was like, it might happen. It probably happened.
Hey, just so you know, Krista and I argue.
Well, I know, but
I'm
there's
just saying, happened twice before.
there's a certain extent from you and Krista because you two somewhat make up. Those two just hate each other.
Yeah, no, it's very true.
That's
Holly and
why
I
I'm
just-
saying that.
We thrive off of the hate instead of the
Yeah.
love.
That's how it works.
At this point, it's just more convenient to stay together.
If I would have
than
walked
not.
in, Noah, I would have been like, yippee!
I don't know about that. You would
think
just be.
To be real, Krista and I kind of do the same thing too. Like, we thrive off of like the hatred. Like, she'll sit there and say something and walk up to me and be like, "You hate me," and I'm like, "Fuck." Like,
Yeah, that happens. That
the only difference
That happens
is a lot
way
of the
too much,
times,
though.
A lot of the times it's not fucking like fighting. You
it's
know?
just small
It's just
arguments that.
it's just aggressive small arguments that should add up,
Aggressive.
and it's always over the dumbest shit.
Sometimes I'm in the middle
Dumbest
of it.
fucking shit.
Yeah, no, I completely understand.
Oh,
What?
it drives me nuts.
We already agreed you can't pick sides in the divorce.
Oh, I already know this.
You know, we're already picked guys.
I did already.
He low-key did pick
I
sides,
picked
so...
sides at the very first time that it happened. So I'm sorry.
That's only because she hit your car twice.
But I also wasn't truly friends with her.
That's true.
That's true. You were still a baby too.
A cute baby.
Tiny.
All right.
Am I allowed to say that
That's
into a
weird.
mic? Never mind. I take it back. I take it back, internet. I said, yeah, cute baby. And I was like, I take it back.
No, you didn't say it in that tone. You went, a cute baby, which just makes it seem...
Shut up and eat your burrito.
I'm just gonna keep those clips,
quesadilla.
and then it's just.
He
It's just
definitely
gonna be
said it in a very
ASMR.
Epstein kind of way. It was a little weird. So I actually got some. She is actually at her sister's. Her sister is having a party tomorrow. That is a gingerbread house building competition, and I'm doing the tower from Lord of the Rings. Like,
That's not what
I thought, yeah,
you were-
I thought you were going with.
no,
kind of tower.
that something happened with that the other day, and my boss, like Mike, literally was just like, "You are fucked," and I'm like,
I thought you were
Hey,
doing like,
man.
the double tower.
"No." I looked at Drew and I was like, "Dude,
Twin Towers.
if you were alive, or not alive, but if you were old enough in 2021, like, would it still be okay for you to root for the New York Jets?" And he's like, or in 2001, and he's like, "Huh? Yo, fuck you!" Like, immediately was just like, "God damn it!" And he's like, "You can't say that," and I'm like, "I actually can. It was my family," and he's just like,
Your family did it?
No.
Oh my god.
Bush did 9/11.
"Just the Bushes, dude. Fuck the Bushes." Hey, Dad went into surgery, out in under an hour.
Oh,
He's
shit.
good. He's home. Fucking
Hell yeah.
brand new
Shout out
hip.
to Cody's
everything.
dad.
So
Was it a metal hip or was it just?
So it was really
Pins.
weird. They drilled 3 holes and put three pegs in his hip or in his like leg bone and stuff.
Mhm.
And they literally just went and popped a robot on it, and then they walked out of the room.
Wait, did he get 2 new hips? Like double hip
Just one.
replacement? Oh, okay.
Just one. Yeah. So it was weird. They just put the pins in, put the machine on the pins like the robot. And it literally, like, essentially from what I understand, I'd have to actually look into it. But from what I understand, I think it was like basically 3D printed him a metal hip.
Yeah, see, like, hip replacements, I've seen videos of them doing the surgery. It seems like, obviously it's not, but it seems like so simple, so easy. You remove it. Have you ever seen a fucking knee replacement surgery?
My dad had both his knees replaced at the
Have
same
you
time.
seen that? Have you seen them fucking hammer?
Yeah.
Literally hammer
Oh,
shit.
when they were
Just
driving the
go.
spike down. Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. My dad has RA, like rheumatoid arthritis. And whenever he got both his knees replaced, he was 40. And they were like, "You can't do this until you're 50."
Right.
And then they took x-rays of his knees. He's like, "We'll get you in a month." Like,
What
that's
the
cool.
fuck? My
So-
dad needs one of his replaced, but they won't because he's in his 40s.
so the big thing is they took my dad's kneecap out and replaced it and stuff. And then he came out with the kneecap and he went like this and said, "Hi."
Ew.
And you could see he had this much bone left around his kneecap.
Oh.
It literally was like you could go like this and stick your fingers through it.
Yeah,
Like,
my dad had a torn meniscus and a bunch of other shit, I don't know. But then he has no cartilage left in his knee at all. So it's just bone rubbing on bone. And so they can't. So they were like, we can go in and do maintenance, but that's it until you're old enough to just get a knee replacement. And then they permanently fucked up the nerves in his leg too, so he can't feel just a chunk of his leg and shit. And
don't ever do that to me again, by the way.
What?
I had so much anxiety.
Oh, with your fucking text message.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, you should know that. Like, there would have
Yeah,
been like a
don't do
real
that shit.
text.
It might have been like
to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was like, and he just stared at me, and I was like, what? What?
Said,
And he's
well,
just like-
Noah said, "You guys okay?" And I said, "Nah, we just broke up." And then I was like, "You know how it goes."
that was my
And then he just
contribution.
said-
That's
me,
what.
like-
So he
'Cause
read
Tyler
that and
knows-
he's like, I don't know if he's being serious or not. He's like with the
They
you
both
know
hate
how
each
it
other,
goes.
so.
I'm like,
Well, he
does
said,
it go?
He said Noah just asked how it's going or if we're okay, and he was like, I'm gonna tell him we broke up. And then I was like, you know how it goes. And then
I just typed it in. I was like,
Oh
And
yeah.
then I was gathering up all my stuff. I'm like, well, one of us has to go in first. I thought you left your drink in the car, so it would have been better if I came in with just Taco
Oh.
Bell.
No, and then I walked in and I was like, "Hey, Brooks, Noah here yet? Because like I didn't see your car." And I'm like,
It's literally right in front
Yeah,
of the
it's
door.
right in
yeah,
front of the
yeah,
doors.
like I don't like. I was just like, I had my head down, I was like texting you back or whatever, and I was like, he's like, no, and I was like, wait, what? And I was like, Noah's not here. And he goes, Noah, and I was like, Noah McCoy, and he's like, Noah hasn't been on like at all today, and I was like, what?
What a freaking dickhead.
this dickhead.
And then I was like, so I'm like, okay. Then I was like, fuck, was I supposed to meet you guys somewhere else? So then I turned around and I started walking back out. And Brooks is like, he's like, I'm just fucking with you. He's in the bag. And I was like, oh, okay.
Hey, karma.
Wait, go get them peanut butter cookie thingies. I've changed my mind.
Ow.
Bye.
Don't worry, I'll do the intro with Holly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Like
The
that.
two most important people are here.
Yeah, the two that fuck around the most when Tyler DMs.
The two that can't be trusted.
Well, hi. Hello. Howdy. Welcome to CNC Talks. You already heard some banter or whatever. Kinda. Fuck you both. I'm still
The
upset.
banter that we can keep in.
Yeah. And the Nazi thing. And just everything. Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
Since the holidays are coming up, or this might come out after the holidays, I don't know yet. It'll be all over the place. We're just going to talk shit, talk whatever. Cody asked some questions. I want to hear more about your guys' trip to Virginia for the past couple of times.
Yeah.
Other than like for Halloween and then for Thanksgiving. But we'll get to that later. How was work? How was making me almost have another panic attack?
Work was honestly so dead. Tyler had one tattoo. His other appointments just didn't show. And then he had to do a touch-up tattoo. That was it. I sat there and I knit the whole time. I have to knit 8 scarves and 8 hats in a week.
For what?
One of our clients. You
The
gotta
hell?
try
Are
these.
those nuts? So, for a customer, are you getting paid from it, or is it just like, yeah, sure, I'll do it?
I told her $20 just because I feel bad charging people, and like I'm not, you see on Etsy like all
You're not
those
getting
people,
money.
but like you see on Etsy all those people making like the fucking ridiculous hats and like plushies and stuffed animals and shit. I can't do that. Mm-hmm. I can knit in a straight line, so scarves and blankets. So I feel bad charging a lot for something that really isn't worth it. Shout out to Tyler's mom. They're massive though.
They are pretty good.
Just like my penis.
No, it's not. Your nutsack is, though.
What?
Your nutsack is, though.
No, it's not huge anymore. This one only went down.
Well, I mean, Batwing.
Oh, well, yeah, it's big that way. I think it's so stretchy.
Stretchy.
Do you think you could suffocate somebody with their nutsack?
I feel like you could.
Like,
Like,
you just-
like their own nutsack?
No.
I'm like
your
their own
nutsack.
nutsack. That's gonna be massively stretchy to get up there. I like that you're no longer talking to your mic. You're talking into the bag of cookies.
No, I was looking. I wish
They're all the same.
No, I know, but I wish you didn't make them so big. Like they're huge. I just like want like a chunk at a time.
I also have Taco Bell nachos. If anyone's interested, shout out to Taco Bell. Sponsor us.
I bought that probably 3 years ago.
I just didn't like that. Like, I love the idea of the silicone mats to make different maps and stuff, but they don't wipe off right. Like, you can use the markers that come with it. You can use they just do not wipe off cleanly. There's always some sort of like a.
Can you not? Sorry.
We're filming.
Currently?
we're recording.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
we
thought-
did the intro ourselves and then started having conversations.
I just talked about my dick for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah. And it's in.
Oh my god.
I'm like, why is he being so obnoxious while we're
I don't know.
recording?
He's getting all giddy.
Listen, I need structure when it comes to these sort of things.
After that prank, you're all over the place.
The thought of it made him too happy. He's so
Oh,
giddy.
no.
Cody comes in with a whole box of chocolates.
Get to finally try out this Monster Hunter board game
That we
spent.
spent over $300 together. Me, Cody, and Brooke spent over $300 to get
Yeah,
the
but it's,
Monster
like, huge,
the
isn't it?
Monster Hunter
It's-
board game with all of the extra
Expansions.
expansions.
We missed the
Shit.
Iceborne one.
It's fine.
It was only within 6 hours, I think,
yeah.
because he told me about it the day it expired. He's like, it ends tonight at midnight. And I'm like, I don't have the money for it
Yeah.
right now.
But there's 6 or 7 boxes. More than half of them are just all monsters.
Like
Holy
minis.
shit.
But
That's
it's like
They're
a
probably about the
Rathalos that's
size of like the height of this Sprite bottle
but he said,
or
Shout out to
taller.
Sprite.
Brooks just said he played it for a very little bit, like a few weeks ago, and he was like, it seemed super fun. Because he was just testing out the rules, and he's like, it seemed like it would be a fuck ton of fun.
My sister just got my brother The Binding of Isaac
Oh,
board
God.
game.
I hate
I
it.
want to play
I'm
that game.
interested to try it.
Oh, wait, board game?
Board game.
Oh, I hate the video game. I don't know what the board game would be like.
Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how it works or anything. I just know she just told me today she got it,
Just
so I'm
keep
excited
it
to try
there.
that.
Katie's soon husband, fiance.
Hopefully
maybe,
at some
whatever.
point, fiance.
He came in to see if we had it here.
Oh.
When?
Probably around 5.
Today?
So before they walked in, she said she already got it. Maybe he wants it for himself. He might want it for himself.
I think so.
There's something in
weird,
my
'cause-
motherfucking eye. I'm dying.
That's weird because Devin's not really a board game kind of person.
When it comes to Binding of Isaac, he's obsessed with Binding of Isaac. I'm not surprised.
It is a really good game.
Is it
Hey,
Devin?
Yeah.
What?
Devin.
Devin.
Devin?
Devin Clark.
That's not the Devin I know.
Yeah,
Oh.
no. That's,
Oh no, not
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
no,
no, no,
God,
no,
no.
no. My
Uh-uh.
sister's boyfriend.
no.
No, fuck no.
My sister's boyfriend
You gotta edit
is
that out
Yeah.
if you're recording. He makes me want to fucking off.
Well,
Yeah, I would just like
Yeah.
to everyone know we have started.
yeah, that's fine. Did we tell you the story about how he supposedly went missing?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, I
Dude,
told
that
him the
was
story.
ridiculous.
We found him in Big Run or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After like 2 to 3 hours of searching for him,
on railroad
we find him.
tracks.
He fucking reappears while I am in the fucking state police barracks filing a missing persons report for this fucking idiot. And then we get the call, he's found. And so I was like, okay, bye, things.
And as we're going to Big Run, we just see a fucking shadow coming from where the lake is over at Tyler's house. We don't know who the fuck it is. It's still pitch black, and we just see a light moving back and forth. So
And we yelled out to him too. And
Like
then
3
instead
or
of
4
responding
times.
like a normal person, because we yelled, who is that? He just decides to sprint at our car. I was like, he's lucky that I don't have a gun, because now would be the time when I pull it.
there was also another person that was missing that same night.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
was
there's another
crazy.
kid that we don't know of that was missing. Because we see a
You
police.
did tell me that part.
We see the police officer. That was good.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I love them, but Jesus.
I gotta stop. Someone take this. I'm gonna munch ice the entire time we're talking.
That's a bad time. Don't bring him up in front of.
Oh yeah,
I also don't love him.
The first time I introduced Devin to him and Brooks and like Dinger and all of them.
That was your first mistake.
That I didn't know.
Oh, it was okay. It was very quick. Because he's just sitting there. And he's like, I think he hates me. And he just turned around and looked him dead in the face and was like, yeah, a lot. And just was like,
I've never invited anyone else to that place beforehand. That was the first time I invited someone over. I'm like, I see a lot of new people over. I think it's fine. Nope. That was the first mistake.
First and last mistake.
Yeah. It was rough. Do you want to...
So annoying.
He's having a rough time.
I'm having like a non flashback right now, and I'm just like sweating.
Do you want to go with your questions first, or do you want me to ask about their trip? So I wanted to ask you guys, or you guys can talk about your trip to Virginia for Halloween and just lately Thanksgiving. What happened? I know I want you guys to talk about the mainly the tombstone and the brick that you fucking stole.
Okay. Listen.
Yo, whoa. Commandeered.
Yeah.
Nothing
Sorry. It was laying on the ground and it was just there.
It was there.
It just ended up in his
It
pocket.
ended up in my pocket.
Well, like, so basically, when we go on, like, my family trips,
They're very boring.
we don't normally do a ton. We all hang out just together and play board games or video games, whatever it is we do, but we really don't do anything. So for Halloween, Tyler's like, I really want to do something. I'm like, okay, let's see what's in my brother's area to find something to do. And I found...
Sorry, I want a cookie, but go ahead.
I found a couple cemeteries that were really cool. One being
The Richmond Vampire.
the name of the cemetery. Hollywood? Was that Hollywood?
The Hollywood Cemetery.
Hollywood Cemetery in Richmond, Virginia. Fucking beautiful, first of all. I have never
gorgeous.
seen a cemetery that is miles long and is literally like a state park. It is gorgeous. There are also Pokestops everywhere if anyone plays Pokemon Go.
And they're also all like ghost themed, which is really cool.
Yeah, super, super cool place. But we found that one, and then we had found another one. I do not remember the name of it.
The name of the cemetery.
But it's fine because I wouldn't recommend it because I thought we were legitimately going to get stabbed walking down the street there. It was
That's when you know it's a real cemetery.
It was a very sketchy area. For a group of very white kids to be running through a cemetery because we had an appointment for an escape room. So we had to beat feet through this cemetery to try and find this specific tombstone. And the map that we were looking at, we read it upside down, so we went to the complete opposite end. So we're just booking it through this cemetery, and I'm like, this looks so bad. Someone is going to stab us. But no, the Hollywood Cemetery, super cool, and it has the mausoleum for the Richmond Vampire, which Tyler was very interested in.
Yeah, it's very cool. It started back in the early 1900s. There was a train car accident just outside of Richmond, and as the firemen and other people were responding to this overturned train car, and they were like trying to pull bodies and stuff out, they saw a man also pulling bodies out of the train car, and they thought, wow, this guy's really helping us. But as they approached, they noticed that this man was quite a bit taller, extremely pale skin, was wearing no clothes at all. And when they got up even closer, they realized that this man was not helping people out of the train car. He was feasting on them. The local authorities then drew their guns, in which the culprit took off running, And the police chasing them. They ended up cresting the hill of the Hollywood Cemetery. And as they entered the cemetery, they watched this ghoulish figure run into the mausoleum. A very particular mausoleum, where this elderly man was known for never leaving his house, always coming out at night, was, always kept to himself. His name was W.W. Poole. He died in 1913. But the weird thing was when they got up there, the main door was still locked, but the window above the door into the mausoleum had been crashed into, was broken into, glass was scattered everywhere. They broke the door open. When they got inside, there was just like a pool of blood and nothing else. There was no way that the man could have exited or anything like that. So to this day, they still don't know who the man was who was like literally eating these people out of this train car. But they still speculate that it was Poole's ghoulish body.
One of my favorite things is if you look up like old, urban legends, the locals would write about. One of their reasoning for why they think Poole is the vampire, let alone the fact that the whatever creature ran into his mausoleum and like all of that, it was because WW looks like vampire fangs. And that's like one of their things. They say he was
Son
the vampire.
of a bitch. It does.
That's
why it shows it in the references and stuff on this thing. It did say there was another dude that talked about it in a print. And it was in October 2nd, 1925 is when the event took place that brought this whole urban legend on. And they said that it occurred, according to some of the folklore from around the area, there was a person named Benjamin Mosby who was 28. There was a tunnel collapse, and he was the person who was shoveling coal into the firebox of the steam locomotive. Mm-hmm. And said that he had no shirt on, and whenever the cave-in occurred, the boiler ruptured. Mosby's upper body was horribly scalded, and several of his teeth were broken before he made his way through the opening of the tunnel, which is where the fangs come from and stuff, because they were all shattered and broken. And it says, reported that he was in shock and layers of his skin were like hanging from his body. Then it's said that he died later at the hospital and was buried at the Hollywood Cemetery. But then it also mentions about the weird shit happening afterwards.
Right.
And they're talking about it here, and they're like, they've had several occurrences, and I think the last, like, credible one was in 2007.
Oh, so it's happening that, like, early.
2001, 2007.
I'll tell you what, though. Like, that place was, like, gorgeous. They had a church there that literally looked like a castle.
Like we pulled up to this place, and I have to say, it is, like, the coolest place to go for a Halloween visit, because you pull up, and there's the big church, but then, like, classic horror movie, dead, big, spooky tree with all its limbs right at the frickin' front gates.
Nice.
And I was like, you cannot get better than that. That's, like, the perfect horror movie opening is that, like, dead tree and big church.
Did you go during the day?
We went during the day because we wanted to go at night, but we did not take into account that cemeteries do close.
Like the ones that are
some bigger ones.
The
gated ones.
So we didn't know if either of these cemeteries would have been closed or anything like that.
I mean, that thing looks like it should have a moat around
It
it.
seriously,
Like,
It was crazy. They had massive fountains. Like, you'd be walking down, like, these big... They even had they had street signs. Like, the cemetery is so large, it had its own
like
streets.
All I can think of is the Vatican, the way they explain that, a city within a city.
Yeah. Dude, it was crazy. And then there was, like, big fountains and, like...
This is weird, but was there a house inside of it or anything?
Not that we
on the grounds?
Not that we
Okay.
saw it. There
It could be.
We didn't explore all of it.
It went forever. Like,
I wasn't sure if they had one of those weird things where, like... Well, not weird, but the old-timey things where...
Yeah, like a groundskeeper.
Yeah, the
groundskeeper
lives on the cemetery.
I mean,
that
I
would
could
have
see
been
it.
fucking cool to talk to that dude.
Yeah, right.
Especially with, I would just imagine him as like an old guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, that'd be so cool to talk to somebody who is just old as shit and be like, yeah, I've been around here all the time. Like,
yeah,
I can tell you some shit about
probably
that
knows
tale.
about all like the secret tunnels.
See,
and
honestly,
like, all
I
secret
was
tunnels and stuff.
surprised that we found his grave because the research I did on this was very limited. I just looked up like cool places in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
And that was one of the results. And I was like, oh shit, cemetery for Halloween? Why not? Well, I didn't realize that this place was, I would need a fucking map to go through all of it. And we walked into it and I'm like, holy shit, this stretches on for miles. How are we going to find his tomb? I'm like, we're screwed. We just so happen to wander down the right path and stumble upon it. Not hard to find. Once you go in, it's just we happen to go down that road, and like the third mausoleum in, we're like, oh shit, there it is.
I was gonna say, was it like a bigger mausoleum than most of the other ones, or was it like just an average size, and then you were just like, oh shit, like
It's
you read the
it's
name?
pretty much like average to the ones. There's kind of like a row. I think there's
kind of like a row of
five-
mausoleums.
There's maybe like 5
That's
of them
okay.
on that street, and they were all about the same size. And we saw the first mausoleum, and we're like, oh, this might be it. And we go up, it's not it. Go up to the second one, it's not it. And then the third one was his, and we're like, that's so fucking
The
lucky.
only reason why we even went that way is like as I was like running up ahead of everybody, I saw a little tiny green arrow carved into the bottom of the road, and I'm like, let's go this way. And that's the way it was.
Tyler was like in his element there. He so excited, and they're all taking pictures like outside of this mausoleum, you know. There's like a little like gate in front of it, and everyone's, you know, taking pictures, how cool, this is awesome. And then I was like, I know for a fact you can go closer.
That's cool. Hollywood Cemetery is the only cemetery besides Arlington that contains the burial of 2 U.S. presidents.
There's a U.S. president
know
we
that?
missed
There's 2 of them.
in the Hollywood Cemetery. We missed it.
I mean, we missed a lot because
yeah, we were rushing pretty fast, but I did not know that there was a U.S. president in there.
I mean, it'd be super good. President James Monroe.
Oh, okay.
It's called the President's Circle because...
Oh my God.
Oh, and then President John Tyler. Or Tyre.
You
I don't even know.
I have not heard of him.
I haven't either.
you
No
said
idea
the
who
President's
that is.
Circle,
What
right?
number is he?
Yeah.
Okay, listen. We were on it. Because when we went to the top of the hill, like above Pole's thing, there was a big round thing with a bunch of flags and a big like almost like Lincoln Memorial or Washington Monument style spire in the middle that I didn't even look at. But should I go on and like should I go
Talk
on?
about your rock.
Okay.
Well, like with the mausoleum and everything, I had opened the gate and went
Oh,
in,
yeah.
and of course my brother and his roommates are like, yeah, I don't know if you can do that, like no one else is doing that. And I was like, well, it's unlocked. If they didn't want me to go through this gate, they would lock it, clearly. So I go in, and then
Sound thought process, I guess.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying
fair.
that's sound
It
logic.
was unlocked.
It's a very busy place. If they don't want me to go through this, they would lock it. They would put up a sign. There'd be something. There was nothing. So I just went in and went up to his actual like door to the mausoleum that's sealed. Top window still shattered out. And then I'm like, Tyler, you gotta come in here. Come look at this. We ended up leaving offerings. It's a very big thing that people in Richmond do. They'll come and leave offerings around Halloween for the Richmond vampire.
There was like cowrie shells and like
Coins,
tobacco that was kind of spread about. Another thing that was really, really interesting to see, the main door to like the entryway into his mausoleum was made completely out of glass hexagons. And a lot of people say that wasn't original and it was replaced to let the sunlight in, and it was to keep him from exiting his like chamber. But
Yeah, it was really cool. I left a glass heart. I happen to have a like blood red heart made out of glass that was just in my purse. Don't know why I had it, but I did, and so I left that as my offering. And then Tyler was like scouring around the mausoleum, like touching the walls and everything like that. And I was like, okay, he's getting into it. And then he's like, I think we can get on top of the mausoleum. And I was like, yeah, I think so. So we did. And then
Jesus Christ.
We did.
we did. We went on top and we were looking. There's like this weird vent. It's literally like a pipe just coming out of his mausoleum.
But it's ceramic.
And we were like looking into it and like yelling into it and trying to see. But then, you know, we wander up higher and come back down, and then we're like, okay, we got to get to the other cemetery before we have to go to this escape room. So me, my brother, all of his friends, you know, we start wandering off, and I look back and I'm like, where the fuck is Tyler? Tyler took off. And then, you know, 10 minutes later catches back up with us. We leave, go back to the car. Little did I know what he was really doing in that time.
So when we first went up to the mausoleum, I noticed that there was one of the foundation stones to the mausoleum itself that was slightly askew. It was a little loose. So when we went up and we were looking at it and we were exhibiting it, I jostled a little bit and I got a little bit looser.
Oh, you mean you found it laying on the ground?
Right? Yeah, I found it laying on the ground. It was completely there, just laying on the ground. It was, right. Whew. And so then I went back to see if I could find that stone again that happened to be laying on the ground that I may have, gotten out of that location. And it fell right on my hand into my pocket.
It was just like really pushed into the dirt. He had to like dig it up a little bit, you know?
Yeah, it was just slightly.
That's what took so long.
So I caught back up to Holly, and she's like, what were you doing? And I just kind of show her this palm-sized stone that I have in my hand now. And she goes, where the fuck is that from? And I was like,
the ground.
From the ground, right? Obviously. And she goes, you did not. And I said, let me tell you a little story. So everybody usually knows that...
I knew why he did it, and that's what made me even angrier.
Right. Okay, so long story short, everybody knows that I am a huge Lovecraftian fan.
Yeah.
And my absolute favorite story by him is called The Hound. And it's about these two grave robbers, and they literally go through and they steal, trinkets and other objects. Well, they end up stealing this medallion that, curses them, and this massive winged dog basically chases them around, whatever. And so in my thought process, I was reading this one document about how Lovecraft was walking through one of the oldest cemeteries in his location, and with a friend of his. And there happened to be a tombstone that was it was literally just peaked the 1700s. And he told his friend that he had a thought process that if he was to chip away at a piece of this tombstone and was to carry it with him and then sleep with it, he would put it underneath of his pillow at night, that maybe that would give him some sort of inspiration, or that the soul that was, there would follow him back, and that it would give him some sort of inspiration.
He wanted to be haunted.
Exactly. So he pulled a penknife out of his coat pocket, and he chipped away at the corner of this tombstone, and he pocketed a piece, and he brought it back to his house, and he put it underneath of his pillow. Well, that night he had a horrific dream, and he woke up that morning and in one day wrote The Hound. And I thought, wow, that is just crazy inspiration, right? So I was like, what better thing for me to do, because I also love to write and those sort of things, what better than for me to do to take a piece of the Richmond vampire himself and try to do the same thing? Well, it's never made it past my car because now I'm terrified to bring it in my house.
It's like when you get so close to it and then you're like, but what if?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
What if I
get
see that winged
too.
dog?
That's like me. I just tell him no every time, but he talks about wanting to skydive.
Oh yeah.
I could talk myself into it, and I would go over and be like, yeah, fuck this.
Yep.
No,
I'll wait.
Let me tell you, skydive.
Nope.
That
Yeah,
is.
no.
Do you want to go skydiving, Noah?
Yes.
Fuck yes, come with me. Katie and Josh are all going again. Me and Katie went because my sister's in the military. She decided to sign up, and I told her, before you leave, you list one thing you want to do, and I will take you and we'll do it, whatever the hell you want. And out of nowhere, she's like, I want to skydive. And I was like, well, fuck, I didn't think that would be what you want to do. I'm terrified of heights.
Yeah,
But see, to me, I'm scared of heights. It's going to sound so stupid, and Tyler makes fun of me for it all the time. I have ridden the world's fastest and tallest roller coaster. That's fine. I can do skydiving, planes, whatever. Bridges are what scare me, because what if they collapse? That is my fear, is bridges. I close my eyes on bridges. But we went to a place in, it was just over the border of Ohio. It was only like 2 hours from here. And it was the best fucking thing ever.
Sorry. Shout out to Taco Bell's Ice.
It was like the best experience ever, to the point where I want to do it so many more fucking times. It was amazing. The biggest thing, the hardest part was, so they strap you into another person. One of the things was, though, me and my sister are very tall for women. And my Aunt Jill came with us, who is also very tall for a woman. All of the men were below average height for men. So when we wanted to walk, we had to crouch down with them or pick them up like a backpack and walk, because we're so much taller than them.
That's hot.
I mean, like, sometimes they were like a foot taller than them.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Like Katie's was like maybe to the middle of her back.
It was so
Like,
hard.
they couldn't even see.
We're like fucking crawling around on the ground to move around with these dudes. And we get up in the plane, and they explain to us what we're gonna do. You know, you get to the door, and you hold onto your harness. You cannot touch the plane at all. And then when you jump, you do the banana pose, where you just put your feet together and like bend them back. And then, you know, they take care of everything else. Well, when you get to that edge, they bring you right to the edge. So, of course, your natural body's instinct is, oh, shit, you know, we're not ready yet, so put your hands up. And that was the hardest part, honestly, was just not grabbing something to be like, oops, steady myself for a second. You have to hold on to the harness the whole time. But it was fucking fantastic. It was such an amazing experience. I can't even describe it, because it doesn't feel like falling. You don't feel like, oh my god, I'm falling. You know, like that feeling
Does it feel peaceful?
Yes, it is.
Hell yeah.
It is gorgeous. You are falling so fucking fast, it doesn't feel like you're falling. Like, your brain can't process it. And you're just looking at everything. And
my brain would process it.
And then we're doing, like, we paid for, like, the camera package and everything. So, like, the cameraman jumps out before you, and then while you're falling, they do, like, fucking tricks with you and shit. Like, they'll hold your hands and, like, spin you away and, like, all kinds of shit like that. And then they pull the chute. I don't know how terrible it is for dudes, but oh my god, that force of that fucking harness going up you when you hit that chute.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It was,
I've heard a lot of people being like,
Nuts
it's
crushed,
a nutcracker.
yeah.
Yeah.
as a woman, that was like, in that instant. But then they pull the chute, and then you were just like softly drifting to the ground, and like they let you fucking steer. You get the little fucking thing, and you can just like fucking cruise and steer. And they were like, he would like spin me to show me like a view and stuff.
100%.
It was
I'd be out.
gorgeous. And
I
then
stayed on the ground and I watched. It was like
It was cool on the ground.
No, it wasn't even that, because like, so they're up in the plane, right, and they already had one set of people coming down. What Holly didn't get to see is as this one lady's coming down, and she's also wearing her man like a backpack, and the dude's like, lift your feet, lift your feet, lift your feet, and she's not listening at all. I don't know if she was passed out or like what, but she ain't lifting her feet. And her heels just dug into the ground, like, as they're going really fast, because she's not, like, doing, like, the directions or whatever. And they just tumbled over top of each other. Their parachute folded in on each other. And they were, like, all tangled up. They had, like, scrapes all over their face. And they were coming in fast, but you're supposed to lift your feet up so you can kind of, like, glide across the ground.
Yeah, my experience was amazing. He said, lift your feet. We lifted our feet, and you just slide in on your butt and come to a stop. It was amazing. And then, you know, your cameraman, like, runs up to you and, like, interviews you and is like, how was it? You know, all this different shit. But
Yeah, no,
honestly,
this lady,
I want to
was
do
not
it
her experience.
so many more times because it was just so amazing. Like, I was terrified in the plane. I'm not going to lie. I was scared. But the second we came out, the most peaceful thing ever. And it's just, like, your brain can't process it. It is just so fucking cool. I did, though, have the start of an ear infection, apparently. Had no idea, had no problems or signs or anything. We jumped out of the plane, and it felt like someone shot me in my ear. And I was like, what the fuck? Turns out I had a little ear infection, and, you know, you're not supposed to be in a plane when you have an ear infection. It makes it worse, and then jumping out of said plane makes it worse. But I couldn't hear for 2 hours after we went skydiving. It was just completely muted in that ear from it. But honestly, would recommend it to anyone. It was amazing.
I'm gonna fucking vomit.
Hell yeah.
No.
It was
Just
so
the thought
good.
of it, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, you'd have to get me in a plane first.
Yeah. No.
Are you scared of planes?
I don't know. I've never been on one.
Oh, you've never even been like on like a regular plane?
You need to come to the airport.
Buddy, I have not left Pennsylvania except for in a car.
I'm
you
telling
need to
you,
come to the
a
airport
regular plane
and
is
have
fine.
like one of the little like 3 people planes.
Oh, like
take
a
you
little
around.
See, I
Tunnel
heard
jumper?
that's so bad though.
Yeah, no, don't do
No.
People
that.
say it's
No.
so bad because of the
No.
turbulence.
I love
It's
it.
like if you ever want to get fucked up, get on a small plane.
Yeah, no.
No,
if you
it's not bad.
ride in a regular commercial airliner, it's literally no different than riding in your car.
Oh,
Like-
hell yeah.
See, that's what a lot
Hell
of people
yeah.
say. Oh my god.
It was amazing. It was so awesome, and like honestly,
That makes me like want to vomit.
it threw me off because like so there's like solo divers and stuff that go up in the plane with you, and at like a certain height they jump out first because they're, you know, they have to get so many jumps in at this height and then so many jumps in at this height. So the door to it is like a fucking hangar door on the plane. They just fucking slide it up like a goddamn garage door. And then
It was weird.
we're flying around and the one dude is like, it's hot in here, open up the door. And they just fucking crank open the door and we're flying with the door open. And I'm like, this is just like, what the fuck? It was so good though. It is so amazing. I love it. And then they said that the next time we come back, we get to pull the chute for doing it. It was so cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like just from like me being on a ladder or anything
Right.
like that, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I know they'd walk me right to the edge, and then they'd be like 3, 2, and I'd be like, I'd be out cold.
That's the
100%.
beauty of it. They don't give you a countdown
Oh,
or anything.
well, the countdown. I mean,
Like,
I'm just saying.
As soon as you
I
see the blue
don't
sky,
even know if they'd open the door and I'd be like, like immediately.
It was just, it was so cool, you know? And then, like, he asked me before we went out, he was like, when we go out, do you want to do a flip? And I was like,
Yes.
no, not for my first one.
You
Because
should have just done it.
But I was afraid it was going to make me, like, sick or something. Like, the quick spin of it
You
would,
just
like...
throw up in his face and then it's fun.
I was so worried it was going to, like, throw me off or something. So I was like, no, not for the first one. And then my cameraman went out and he fucking did a flip out. And I'm like, oh, it does look kind of cool. But I think it's, like, too late to change my mind now. We're
Oh, you
could
could have just been like, can we do the flip? Can we do the flip? Like,
It was, honestly, it was amazing. And, like, I went last. So I had to watch my aunt jump out, then my sister jump out, and then me and my dude jump out. And kind of a little bit scarier to be the last one to, like, watch each of them go out and be like, they just fucking disappear. Like, they literally jump out and boom, they're gone. Like, they go so fast.
I do picture that like an action movie or something whenever, or a horror movie whenever like side of the plane rips off and you just see people getting sucked out the fucking
That's kind of like what it is. Like when they jump, they're just fucking out of sight. And so then when it's like your turn, you're like,
no.
fuck, okay, that's gonna be me, just gone in the wind. But no, when we go, you come with us. It is fucking fantastic.
So with what I want to do, I want to be able to become a solo diver so I can sky surf.
Honestly, fuck solo diving. That scares me so bad because then it's up to me. I have to be the one to be like, we're at this height, let me pull the chute.
Well, the thing is, that won't scare me because I had this conversation with my
Therapist.
coworkers at work.
Oh.
There was a topic came up, and it was like, how do you want to die?
Oh,
What is your idea of the way that you want to die?
Perfect death.
are you trying to tell us something?
No. So theirs were like, I want to peacefully, I want to like do a bunch of drugs and just
The lame
die
shit.
there.
Jeez.
For me, I want to skydive. I want falling.
This
to
guy
be-
doesn't have to worry about a shoot.
Yeah.
He's not planning on
I'm just
taking-
going.
Because in my mind, if I'm 80 some years old, if I have cancer and it's not coming,
That's
I'm-
what I was thinking of.
Yeah, if I'm not going to make it, let me do it myself. And you said it's peaceful, and I thought it would
It
be peaceful
is.
to begin with.
You know what I would do?
I would
The
just
ground would be
exact same thing.
super peaceful. Yeah.
And then we got into a conversation why we should go in the water if we skydive, and not you shouldn't. It's all concrete if you just hit water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still the same.
Like, if you're coming in slow enough, you're fine. But just full force, no.
Yeah.
It's just as bad as hitting the fucking ground.
I think what I would do is I would take like a full mushroom and then just jump out.
Oh, fuck.
Oh wow.
If
Wait,
I was like in that
Wait,
position.
to end it or just
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
If I was in that position where it's like,
Okay.
hey, like a
You're-
Make-A-Wish thing.
you're gonna
like,
die.
hey, you're going to die. I know it's for kids,
Your
but
make-a-wish is that you want to be given a mushroom.
And jump out of a plane.
Like, no, I'm just
love
saying.
that.
Like, I would be like, I want to go skydiving, but I don't want a parachute.
Right.
And they'd be like, okay, we see what you mean. I'm like, this could get messy for my family and stuff. I want to, go peacefully, like in my own way.
Right.
So I'm just like, you.
I
Normally it's an eighth of a mushroom. You eat a whole mushroom, you're fucking, dude. You are gonna separate mind from body. You're gonna be just like.
But what happens
I'm
though if
sorry.
you like grow wings and you just fly away?
I
Then you
love...
drink Red Bull.
No,
I
I don't
love-
think Red Bull would accept that.
the thought that
got sued
you
for
know
that shit
it's going to
already.
be messy for your family. So instead you splatter yourself on the
No.
ground.
See, at that point, most of my family is either dead or dead.
Yeah, I would just have to worry about like my kids or grandkids. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Because for me, I would either want to.
Why is Grandpa a red mist?
I want to
But they wouldn't be there.
land
Oh, okay.
somewhere
Okay.
that's secluded, or I know someone will take care of it, or I just land in the water because I'll be out like a light. I would be gone.
Krista and I were talking about how we're gonna get like buried and stuff like that. This is turning into a really fucked up thing.
Yeah, we'll get
So-
because we went to cemeteries.
Yeah,
and now we're
but
here.
Krista and I were talking about it, and we're gonna do that thing. It doesn't matter what I turn out to be at the end, because I'm
Right.
gonna do that thing where you get put into a capsule and
Oh,
you get
okay.
planted.
Oh, yeah, you
in
become a
tree.
tree.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's the plan for me. It's also the plan for my parents too, because they're like, what's the fucking point of being buried and having like a stone there? Like,
Yeah.
why do you want to take like my grandkids to come see our grave or something, or like whatever, and you're gonna take
Yeah.
them to like a tomb or like like a piece of fucking rock? So we're gonna do a tree, and then it's like there's a lovely little tree that we can go visit grandma and grandpa.
Yeah, that'd be dope. And
Yeah.
you get to choose what kind of tree you want. I'd be
Weeping
like,
willow.
Dude, I just want to be an apple tree.
Oh,
I love
hell yeah.
apples. I
I'm
love
gonna-
apples.
Aw.
If it would produce
I'm just saying, if
like
you die-
apples that people could use,
Aw,
that would
everyone
be freaking
here
cool.
listening is invited to come eat Cody's apples when he's
I'm just
dying.
saying, if you
100%
die,
eat my apples, bitch.
I'm just saying, if you die before me, bro, I'm totally eating your apples.
I'll make an apple pie out of your apples.
Okay, thank
I
you.
hate apples, like apple pie and that sort of stuff. I can eat like a plain ass apple, but
That's
as
what
soon
I
as they're
love.
like mushy, I ain't
Yeah.
about it. But like I'll make you into an apple pie.
What kind
Yeah.
of apples, though?
Oh, or I do a pear tree. What?
Oh,
What
I've
kind of
never eaten a
apples?
pear.
Because there's certain apples.
Really?
I've never in my life had a pear or a peach.
Just so you know,
Peach is great.
peach
Pears
is okay.
have
Pears,
to be perfect for me.
yeah. So
They
pears,
have to be.
you
To
have
me,
to get
pears
the
have
right
to be a
one.
little soft.
Yes.
Yeah, very little bit soft, but if
Yep.
you get to the point where they're mushy,
Oh no,
it's
can't
like,
be mushy.
See, someone told me that pears are like gritty.
I could maybe see that.
Love all
Okay.
three of the same responses.
Well,
Do you
because they're
like
close.
do you like cream of wheat and stuff like that?
I fucking love cream
it's
of
a
wheat.
way finer cream of wheat.
Yeah.
But it's like the
Okay.
same texture, kind of.
Okay.
It is
I
a
can
little
fuck
bit
with that.
gritty,
I
but
can
it's
fuck
It is
with
a
that.
little gritty, but it's not
like-
it's not like sand in your mouth gritty.
yeah. It's
Okay.
not sand.
See,
It's,
like as
it's
soon as
very
someone was like, you have to try a pear. They're a little bit gritty. I'm like, why is that fucking appetizing? Like, let me roll an apple
gritty's
in
not
some
the
dirt and
word.
get the same
Like,
effect.
It's
I
not.
wouldn't call
You know,
I wouldn't
like
call
static.
wheat gritty.
It's kind of staticky.
But what
Yeah.
what kind of apple? Because there's a bunch of different kinds of apple, like Granny Smith.
fucking
and all
honey
these-
Honey
crisp.
crisp.
Honey
Oh,
Crisp,
Honey
yeah.
Crisp.
That's the only one I ever
yes.
Fucking honey crisp.
Yes.
The only
Just-
ones we buy. That's
Yep, a Honey Crisp.
all
apple.
we'll buy. Krista gets these.
Tyler's agreeing with all this apple shit. Like he can fucking eat one.
Yeah. No, I'm just allergic to pesticides. I thought for the longest time I thought I was allergic to what is it, pectin?
Pectin. He thought he was allergic to
Because
pectin
it's in the
fruit.
skin of like
Oh,
all
I
fruits
remember
and
you telling me
vegetables.
about that before.
But
Yeah.
I told him when we got together, I was like, I am telling you, it is not the pectin. It is pesticides.
Yeah.
Did you do homegrown stuff?
Yeah,
I ate
his
an
dad
apple
has-
off my
his dad
dad's
has
tree,
apple trees.
and I was like, and my dad does nothing with them, like ever. He's never.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he used to
They
be an
just-
apple orchard.
Yeah, and he just and Holly's like, just eat this, and I was like, okay,
We were
nothing.
risking it all that day for
Yeah,
the fun of it.
I took a bite, nothing, and I was like, no shit. It took like
And
6
then
more, and I was like, no way.
We grew our own cucumbers, and cucumbers were one that were like, he needs to go to the hospital.
Yeah, like
and
I'd
get
end up
fucking
in like a
EpiPen.
hospital.
But he ate cucumbers that we grew, not a single
Mm-hmm.
reaction. And I'm like, it's because it's the pesticides.
I remember I almost
Yeah.
accidentally gave you a cucumber. That's what caused it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then
Almost
like,
put cucumbers in something.
and they're really, like I said, like it's like literally get me to a hospital in like 5 minutes.
Which is why he can do like pickles. He can eat
Yeah, I
pickles,
can eat
because
pickles.
they're processed.
They're processed.
I was
You
gonna
know,
say,
and I can
that
eat, like,
brine
apple-
Probably.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the
fuck
vinegar
shit
and
up.
shit.
Yeah,
So,
like I can eat pickles. I can have apple pie. Like
I'm
anything
surprised
that's
that
like,
shit doesn't do something to the inside of my stomach because I eat a lot of pickles.
oh, dude.
Pickles
Like,
are
you
good.
think-
That just means we're gonna live forever because we're mummified on the
see,
inside.
are
Yeah,
any
that
of-
is true.
Are any of y'all like an olive person?
Ew.
Nope.
No.
Krista's not here.
No.
Fuck.
You could talk to Krista about it.
See,
but
I'm
it has
always
to be,
on my fucking own with olives, man.
Well,
It has
my
to be black olive. She doesn't.
I
or
fuck
wait,
with green olives and I fuck with black olives. They're both so good.
No.
my dad.
Brooks is right out there.
Yeah.
Go talk to him about it. I think
Did
he
he,
eats
did he
olives.
fuck with olives?
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
I
he eats
think
a
he-
lot of
It's just that everyone I ever talk to, they're like, fuck yeah, pickles. I'll drink the fucking pickle juice. And then I'm like, what about olives? And they're like, fucking disgusting. Like, what the fuck?
You know what's really weird?
'Cause they're not the
Pickled
same.
garlic. You can
I
just eat the
love
cloves.
pickled garlic.
What?
Dude.
Yeah, no, it makes it so they're not as strong. It's
So
weird.
good. Dude, okay.
I'm
I'm with you.
So Krista loves it, and Krista's sister was obsessed with it. I'll tell you the story about that way later.
Okay.
That's an off the podcast thing. It's just
Oh.
I just don't have
Oh,
permission to no.
Oh.
I just don't have permission to say anything.
Oh,
from
okay,
her.
okay.
So,
I was like,
um,
what the?
So it was nothing bad or anything, but it was kind of gross. So Krista likes them, her sister likes them. I haven't tried.
I've never
pickled
had
garlic,
pickle.
but I have some in the fridge, and I was going to tonight.
Okay, listen.
Shit.
This is
I
the
wanna try some
listen. This is
now.
the best way to
It's
have
homemade,
it.
too.
I've never even heard of pickled garlic.
Okay,
Like,
listen.
never in my life.
Listen, I gotta tell you how to make it. Okay, so you gotta just get like a chicken breast, right? And then but this is a
We're
nice
going
way
a
to have
different
it
route.
because
I was
like
excited.
if you just eat it, it's
That's the way they do it. They eat it
Oh,
straight
see,
out of
no,
the jar
I don't
with
do
a
that. Like,
spoon.
I need it as like a. Basically, I use it as like a chaser, right? So if you get like a nice chicken breast, you grill it up with some like Italian dressing, that sort of thing,
I'm out.
and then you slice it like real thin,
Yeah.
and then eat it like that. Oh my god, it's so delicious.
like
It's like
super mini garlic chips.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like cut it real thin, and oh my god, it's
It's kind of like what's that cabbage stuff that you just garnish stuff with, but it's like I think it's
like a
similar to what you made.
coleslaw or like
Well, it's similar to what you made. That
I
pickled-
made a pickled cabbage.
Oh, are you thinking
like
of
a slaw?
I'm thinking like it's definitely pickled. It's like I think it's
it's,
pickled cabbage.
Are we talking
Is it
about
pickled ginger?
Are we talking about kimchi?
That's it, kimchi.
Oh.
Kimchi.
Yeah.
So I feel
It's a
like
little
it has
spicy.
I ain't never had
it has a
kimchi.
similar thing to kimchi.
Kinda.
Like a similar purpose.
Kind of.
to me.
Yeah, it's like it's
Yeah.
exactly like you kind of eat it with other things as you're eating it. Like
Yeah.
what I would always do is I would
don't
cut it
know.
real thin on a plate
I
and then
just
I would take
wanna-
like a bite of chicken and then like stab my fork into the garlic and then take it in one bite.
Yeah,
I-
it's like wasabi.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
I mean, if you get real wasabi.
Yeah.
Oh my god, if Krista was here right now, she'd be freaking crying. She does that all the time.
I love that. I do too.
Jesus.
Wasabi.
Dude, it's so good.
Tyler, we need to move somewhere and they can just get married.
Yeah, right.
I mean, she's hot.
What the hell?
I'd bang
about
your
you?
wife.
There you go.
I'd bang
I
your
looked at
wife.
you
There
for
we go,
permission.
Shout out to Krista.
Shout out to Krista's butt. Oh, yo, I got something for you and I forgot.
Is it your wife's ass? Because
No.
that's what it just reminded
No, but
you
it
of.
has to do with asses, so hang on.
I'm all for it. Let's go.
You gave me a pin, so I figured I would give you a pin back.
Oh, good. Bro,
So.
I used to work at Bath and Body Works. I was
Oh,
what?
Jesus.
So like I worked in.
bad.
I had 4
I
jobs
threw
at
away
one point.
my ice. You should be happy.
Hey, you give me one of those.
I worked 4 jobs at one point. I was. Oh Jesus Christ!
That's a fucking
the
brick.
thud.
Sorry.
That's cookies, by the
Oh,
way. That
Cole's
thud was
here.
cookies.
They're not cookies.
I
They're
was gonna say, who is calling?
Holly keeps calling them cookies. They're not cookies.
What the
He
fuck?
did too.
They're
They're
peanut.
technically
Lots of
cookies.
shit.
They're
I
peanut
don't know.
clusters.
No, they're technically cookies.
No,
There's
they're
no
not.
dough in
Small
there.
fucking circular form. I don't care what you say. They're small circular form. They are fucking cookies.
I
You're
don't
right.
know.
Poker chips are cookies.
Yeah, hockey pucks are
Sorry.
cookies.
Edible fucking circles.
Pickle chips are cookies.
Hey, Tums are cookies.
Sometimes
Okay,
I have
people
to eat
eat
them
them
with
like
meat,
Make
dog.
them cookies though.
Yeah.
When you close your eyes and you're real sad, they can be cookies. But no, like I worked 4 jobs at one point. I was the manager of a restaurant, manager of a Unimart, manager of a vape store, and the manager of a Bath and Body Works. And I was one of the what we called at the vape store a Bath and Body Works bitch. Because we're all so fake when we're working there. You know, it's, how are you? Would you like to try our new signature scent? All that bullshit.
Customer service boys.
Yeah, but it's like tenfold at Bath and Body Works. I don't know why, but we put it on so heavy there. And I loved working there. It was fun. Gave me killer migraines, and a lot of those scents were straight ass. Their fucking gingham scent, fuck that shit. It was vile. But I found out while working there, if you get a Bath and Body Works product, no matter what it is, candle, perfume, lotion, if you bring it back to them with the tiniest bit left in it, even if it's a fucking candle burned all the way down, you can bring it back to them and say, I didn't like this scent, I want to exchange it. And they have to. They have to exchange it. So you can buy one candle and fucking live off of that for the rest of your life.
Definitely
You'll never have
cut
to
this
buy
out.
another one. No, keep it in. Fuck Bath and Body Works.
Okay,
Fuck
keep it
them.
in.
All right.
Keep that shit in. Go
We don't want you
exploit this
sponsored.
shit.
Go fuck yourself.
Exploit that shit. It is in their fucking policies. And like we had
Unless
a woman,
it's been updated since then.
we had
We
a
should
woman.
put that disclaimer in there.
We had a woman who would come in with a box of just fucking candles that she burned down. And the first time she ever did it, she walked up to me.
Oh, you got shit on your leg.
It's mud.
No, that is peanuts. That is chocolate.
Maybe it is. I don't know. She walked up to me with this box of fucking used candles and went, I want to exchange these. And I went, no. Like, you fucking use them. No. And then she's like, it's your policy. You have to. And I was like, no. That's so fucking stupid. No. And then my manager walked over and was like, yeah, that's our policy. You have to exchange all of those candles. And I was like, that is a bunch of bullshit. Why is that a policy? Because all you have to do is say you didn't like the scent. That's whack. What other store does that? So
whack.
yeah, if that's still a thing, exploit them. Do it. Get your free Bath and Body Works. They're overpriced, dog.
Thank you
Give it, like,
all
games.
for listening to
Hey, I didn't
CNC
like this
Talks.
game.
If you
Dude,
like that
fuck
episode and want to hear
games.
more, follow and subscribe to keep up to date. We have an Instagram and Facebook at Creatures and Cantrips, and Twitter at Creature Cantrip. If you want your message to be read on the next episode, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Like, share, comment. It'll help us immensely. I hope you all have a wonderful day.